Okay, so let's just go ahead and process the lesson. So,
Okay.
so you tell me how you think everything went. I know we had the main purpose that we were looking at was, of course, the planning for the thoughtful log, right? So, okay, so just tell me how you think it went, or whether.
I mean, it was long. It's definitely longer than what I would normally, but I feel like there has to be such spoon feeding for everything with them that just even, again, coming not prepared.
Yeah.
And so I really liked Jacob's idea of staying at the table till things were done. I'm like, oh.
And did he say that? I didn't quite hear that. So he said we should just stay here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I liked that idea, and I'm like, okay, let's give that a try. And I think once we got past that, then we had a really good discussion. And then still having to really prompt them to go back to the text, to have any evidence that they're, not doing that on their own. And to just staying to Isaac has a tendency to throw us off completely. So getting him back on track. But I think it all went really well. It just took longer than, what I had intended.
Yeah.
And then I think we probably could have spent another 20 minutes just doing their whole writing prompt together. Yeah. And I'm thinking, that might even be the case for them through this first book, that we have to do all of those steps together and maybe lay the foundation for what the rest of it looks like. So I don't have another group that I'm meeting with tomorrow. So I'm going to touch base. I took a picture of the plan, so I'm going to give that to them tomorrow. And hopefully,
what you did on the whiteboard there? Okay, yeah.
And then
you can just put that in their log?
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. And so I wish, if there was something more like that, we could, but I can't, take a picture, print it off, and I think it would take too much time too to have them write that in their notebook. I think it wouldn't serve its purpose then. But so I'm still thinking about that, how to get them something, and it might just for now have to be whatever we put together, what they didn't finish, I'll take a picture of it, and then they'll get it in the next day. But yeah, I think, again, I felt like there were light bulbs going off
for the kids.
During and Rylan too finally chimed in a little bit. It wasn't always, right on point, but at least I could tell, he wanted to say something, wasn't quite sure how to say it, but at least getting over that hurdle of contributing something to the group. So, and I think that's, the planning, I think, will help for their writing prompt, and will be something to continue. But hopefully, tomorrow, even just with that picture, hopefully they can, most of them got through William.
Okay.
But then
it's actual writing in their prompt. When they went back, they did do that. Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, so they at least got.
So they have a start with the writing.
Yes.
Okay.
And so hopefully maybe even just a quick reminder of following that pattern of answering the first question, using wording from your question.
Afternoon, staff. Anyone that's involved in the second grade meeting today right after school, please report to Mrs. Moss's room, the counselor's room, please. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
just in recapping, what you do feel really went well is the discussion. Once they settled down, you kind of said, "Hey, remember, this is our job here now, right?" Okay. Then they and I agree. That discussion that they had going back and forth, I thought that, especially given that first time, they hardly said anything, right? So they're, that's progress.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's a lot of progress. And you do feel like the plan helped. So they started, and they have a good start on their plan. I think your idea of taking a picture of that and putting that in there, rather than spending time all together, at least not yet. At some point, it would be good if they can plan on their own. And Cole has done some of that. So that, eventually that they learn how to do that. I think that's good for everybody. I mean, it's good for, your focus group. But I think it's really a smart move for everyone to plan before they write in their thoughtful log. So. You could even do a lesson with that with the whole class, and they could be the leaders in that because they've done some of that planning. So, you said that you're doing a lot of spoon feeding, and I think what you're doing for this group is you're really supporting them a lot. You're doing a lot of scaffolding.
Yes.
Because they need it.
Yes.
I mean, they've needed it with the comprehension and the Post-its or the flagging that you're intentionally leading them with is helping. And now we're doing this with the planning. So you're like you're responding to what they need.
Right.
Is what
Yes.
I think is
Yeah,
absolutely
I think so,
the great
yeah.
things. And another really good thing is, you mentioned Jacob. I just was in awe of him actually today.
Yeah,
Because
he did a really nice job.
he's on the IEP for behavior.
Yeah.
And you would not know that.
Right.
So
yeah.
he was engaged, and he had a great suggestion from the group, which you took and followed.
Yeah.
And did he write in his log too? Then?
Yeah.
Did he go? Well, I think
Yeah.
I think that's progress,
Right,
Amanda.
right. I know. Yes, absolutely.
I really do.
So, yeah, I know. I was
do.
like thinking about the clock, and I knew it was.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm like, oh, we're so in this right now, and I really have them, and I feel like they're really getting it. And
Well, and I think this group it's like a hybrid between a guided reading group and a literature discussion group. So we
Right.
can't just let them more go with the LDG, but yet they're at that
Right.
level of text, and so we want to start building that independence.
Right.
So I think but since it's your focus group, I think, extra, today was a little long, but
Right.
I think knowing that maybe a couple times a week, it is going to be longer with them, and maybe that's more their target intervention. They need, that's your intervention with them because you're going to just hang on to them for 10 more minutes and you're
Right.
going to consistently work on planning.
right.
Or you're going to hang on them for 10 more minutes after a while, and then it's going to be more the comprehension of the flagging or whatever it might be,
Right,
because
yeah.
they just need more again of that scaffolding
Right.
or the support. So I think you're on the right track with that, absolutely. One thing that I would suggest, and that is when you were doing the planning, and you started, you were modeling for them, you put down the 3 characters. I would not hesitate at all to absolutely just show them what to do. I think they
and have
need to
them
see
do
it.
too.
You could just show them right on that whiteboard, like with William, because you started asking them a lot of questions,
Oh,
and they were
sure.
kind of getting it. Some were getting it, some weren't getting it. I
Just
have to look at the tape
model
again, but
it
just
and, like-
I'm going to show you how to do
Okay,
this.
yeah.
I'm going to show you with William,
Yep.
because I think one reason why they're not getting it is because they don't know what to do.
Right,
They
right.
really do. So I think
So
when
the first one just show
just
them.
this is how
Yeah.
I would do this about
Yeah.
William. If I were planning, this is
Yeah.
it, and I can't remember the exact question again on the prompt, but
Right.
I would say this is how I'm going to answer this part.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my notes right here. This is how I'm going to answer the next part.
Sure.
Okay, now we're all here. I want you to try this with Eleanor.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it right now with you. It's just that gradual, just like we
Right.
do in the mini lesson.
Right. Yeah.
Whenever you're getting like a lot of, like you're asking them a question. I think questioning is a great thing to do.
Sure.
But if you're getting like, well, no, that's not quite it. No, that's, so what's happening then is they're starting to guess the wrong thing.
Right.
And that's starting to stick in their head versus the
Right.
learning that you want to have happen.
Yep.
So just to cut that off at the knees
Yeah.
and just say, nope, I'm going to show you how we're going to learn this.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to guide you to learn that right. And then eventually they might be able to do the planning.
Sure.
But initially I think
Okay, yeah.
that would be maybe the thing to do. And then when they get started, I guess this is how I hear all my notes. This is how, and you did talk through that. You talked through
Yeah.
how to get started.
Yep.
So, then, but if you have to model that too,
Yep.
then just model it. Or if one student can answer it and you can take their words and write
Right.
it, that's the model.
Yeah.
But, as long as they are actually learning how to do it, and the first step is, connecting to what they already know,
Right.
and then to show them if they
Yeah.
don't, if
Yeah.
they just think they're floundering.
Right. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Because looking back, because I think with Eleanor and Mama, they were pretty quick about coming up with those ideas. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's great. Okay. Anything else with the lesson? Anything else you're wondering
I
about?
don't think so.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Well, thank you. And thank you for doing this with me. I really
Yes.
appreciate